What is going on, everyone? It is Fetish Like Lettuce here, back with another video. Time is now 2 minutes past 6 AM and I'm finally back. It's been a few months, like, I'm not even gonna lie. I've never felt this good in my life. I've never been this productive in my life. So this like little video, I don't really know what it's gonna be like. Stay tuned, because if I've posted it, I know it's gonna be alright. Like, it's got my approval, so I hope it gets your approval too. First up now, I've been up since 5, so I've been up an hour. Done my morning routine. In my morning routine, I shower, you know, you gotta stay clean. Shower, meditate, stretch, and have breakfast. As well as that, after breakfast, I'll then journal as well. Sometimes I do it before, sometimes I do it after, depends how hungry I feel. Like, if I'm like, okay, like, I'll be calm for like another 15 minutes, but if I'm like, nah, I need some food, then I'll go and get some breakfast now. Not now, like then, you know what I mean. It's been a long day already. But next up now is heading to the gym. Push session today. I don't know how much I'm gonna film, just because I've never filmed with a YouTube camera in the gym before, so I'm not sure how I'm gonna feel about it, but I don't want to do it, so I need to kind of make myself do it. I'm doing a lot more of that. But yeah, people, stay tuned for this video. It's going to be a good one.
So I thought I'd do a little voice recording here rather than doing some crappy music edit. So first of all, on my push day, I always start off with flat bench dumbbell press. Always use dumbbells for this movement, just because when I use a barbell, my shoulders always get over engaged. It's also been proven in studies that this is a better movement to do for chest activation and taking away that shoulder engagement as well. Here I'm on my 4th set, and you can see these last couple of reps are a nice little struggle. It's nice to see that I can finally pull through them and get the weight up. Next up, we're on to incline dumbbell flies. Always do these as part of my push workout. I feel in the flies I always get a better activation than the pressing movements. I like to do these on an incline just so I get that bit of upper chest activation. If you want to help feel it more in your chest while doing these, imagine pulling the weight up from your pinkies. I always feel it gives me a better chest activation. Next up, we're on to shoulders, and for these I always tend to do dumbbell presses, but for some reason today my shoulders were feeling a bit too heavy, so I didn't want to over fatigue myself and just realized that I should, even though I wanted to, I should just go for the cable lat raises. Again, with this movement, imagine pulling from your pinky but also having your thumbs around the grip rather than your thumbs wrapped around. It helps take away your forearm engagement and you feel it more in your shoulders. Next up, we have cable rear flies, and here on my push days I have it on the highest setting and I'm pulling down. This helps me feel it more in my rear delts. I will also feel some engagement in my back, but having it on the highest setting will help focus more on my rear delts. On my push days, I then tend to do these as well, but I tend to have it on shoulder level height so I get more engagement in my back. Next up, we have one arm tricep extensions. Here I'm using no grip, I'm just gripping onto the cable itself. This helps me feel it more in my tricep, I feel. I will always not been a fan of using the grips. I always feel a better connection in the tricep whilst just kind of going in raw. Next exercise, I then do tricep extensions overhead with the cable, again using no grip, just because I feel a better connection. Obviously, I then do this movement both sides, not just trying to look like Popeye and have one big arm. Then final exercise, I always like to finish off on chest flies using a machine. Here I do 2 working sets and then I do 1 drop set going to complete burnout. Like here, I think the setting might be on like 28 and I'm burning up in my chest here. I just feel like it's a nice way to finish off and it gives me a nice chest pump.
So that is my push session. Session done. I managed to record literally every exercise, and I've never really done that in the gym before. I've done it with people, which I feel makes it alright, but kind of like when you're with a tripod and you're doing it, I always think like, oh, what are these people thinking of me? But that's always kind of been like a big reason why I've not done YouTube regularly, because I can't find people to train with all the time. and like no one wants to like just come and hold the camera while I start training. I'm not that close with anyone like that. No, I'm joking. But now what I'm basically doing is, after my push, I finished stretching off in the studio. I didn't want to film that just because I've been filming quite a lot of my stretches lately, so I kind of just wanted to chill. And I did legs yesterday, so the legs are feeling a bit heavy, so I spent longer than I do usually stretching just because the DOMs are a bit mad. But now what I'm going to do, 7:54 now, I'm going to head to Starbucks, going to do some work there, and then come back for a client at 10. We're so lucky here because the Starbucks is open just across the road, like literally not even across the road, in the same car park, so it's like, yes. Yeah, I'll catch you in Starbucks. What's going on, people? So the time is 12 past 7. 12 past 7? 7 past 12. The time is 7 past 12. Just got back from client, Starbucks, gym, and now it's time for lunch finally. I'm starving today. Each lunchtime this week, like each week, I kind of do something different for lunch. Or dinner. I kind of like to have 2 meals I either have for lunch or dinner. So at the moment it's either ginger beef stir fry, which if you're on Instagram you would have seen, I always put that on my story. But then also something I'm having for lunch like every day this week I've had is fajitas, because they're quick, they're simple, and they're beautiful. After lunch I'm going to chill for a bit, probably going to chill for half an hour. Then I want to read, so I'm going to read for half an hour. So like kind of like an hour lunch break I give myself. Like if I was kind of like in a corporate environment, kind of get like half hour, an hour lunch break. I know some places get less, some places get more, but I'm going for half hour chill, like watch Netflix or something. Half hour I'm going to read. And yeah, we're going to go from there. And then I'm back in Starbucks. I just find it's a better environment to work in than being stuck in my room. So yeah. It's now 13:56. I've had my lunch. If you're wondering why I had sugar snap, beans or peas, whatever you want to call them, sugar snap things, with my fajitas instead of like peppers and onions, is I did go to have the peppers and onions, but I realised I ran out, so yeah, I had sugar snaps and I was like, you know what, I'll mix it up. No rule on it, it's actually quite nice, just a bit more, I didn't really put them in for long as well, so it was a bit crunchy, but you know, nothing wrong with a bit of crunch. Then I had my little read, read 2 chapters. I'm someone who doesn't like reading. I never used to, like I could never read. Like this is the first book I've read probably since primary school, in all honesty. But now what I'm gonna do is I'm heading to Starbucks because I need to do some uni work. So I'm gonna start some of that today, finally. And then what I've got this evening is I've got one one-to-one client. I've got 2 calls for online stuff. I've got another little bit of information coming later this evening, but I'm gonna leave it towards the end of the video, just because yeah, it requires some explaining. But yeah, on to Starbucks now, so I'll catch up with you whenever. So guys, that's my famous ginger beef stir fry I was just cooking up. It is beautiful. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I enjoy it every day. It just gets better and better somehow. Some way, somehow, I find a way to make it better. But just a quick catch up. It's now 8 o'clock. Day's finally done. I've got like a few things to do, but I thought I'd kind of give a little update here on what the hell is going on in my life. I've kind of gone through a lot of little changes recently to kind of like improve my life, but also just because I realised like I was kind of not being someone I wasn't, but like I was happy the way I was, but there's a bit of me that was like, this isn't the life I want to live, like in 5, 10, 15 years. Like I knew, I had a vision of where I want to be. And if I carried on the way I wasn't gonna, I wasn't gonna achieve that. Like it would have gone the complete opposite direction. Nothing bad, just in terms of like, I would just always be going out. I'd not be on my uni work. I'd not be on like trying to do good with my online stuff. I'd kind of just be coasting, like doing the bare minimum and being like, oh yeah, it looks like it's calm. But I knew, I knew deep down I'm better than that, which is what I'm trying to adapt now. So like I'm making little changes here and there, gradually, and I'm loving it. Like I've genuinely never been happier. But one major life update I've got to give you, I don't have to give you, but you know, you've made it this far in the video, or you just skip to the end. But one is I've handed in my resignation for Pure Gym. It was kind of a thing that I'm proud of, just because it's mainly because my online stuff is doing so well. I kind of get that opportunity to kind of go like, right, I can either finish the last 3 months of uni, try do one-to-one as well, and do my online, and try keep up with social media. Yeah, Pure Gym made a couple changes that I personally didn't really like, but they're a company, they're up to them. And yeah, I kind of, when I looked at it and the changes they were going to make and my online situation, as well as a big factor was I've got 3 months left at uni to do work and I only started my dissertation today. So yeah, I kind of looked at it and I was like, I could take a gamble here, push my online stuff, get uni done, and just kind of focus on that sense rather than, because one-to-one's really hard to do. And if I wasn't at uni, I would 110% stay at Pure Gym. But kind of like the whole situation as a whole, it would make it really hard for me to be, it wouldn't be sustainable for me to stay there. I'd just be running myself into the ground and running my finances into the ground essentially, just because I'm balancing uni, online and one-to-one. If I was just doing one-to-one, if I was just doing one-to-one, it wouldn't be a problem. One thing I've realised massively is if you want to make a change, you have to be honest with the person you currently are. Like, yeah, I was kind of in denial quite a lot of the time, like, oh, like I don't do that, like, oh, I don't do that, like, oh, I'm not that person. But when I kind of sat myself down and looked in the mirror, like, or just like thought, like meditated, I was like, nah, I'm that person. Like, you kind of have to own it and realise you need to make that change. If you keep saying you're not that person, or you're not that, or you don't do that, like, you're gonna keep doing it because you're not coming into terms, or you're not being honest with yourself. One person you can never lie to is yourself. You always know if you're lying to yourself. So yeah, that's a big change I've made. I came to the realisation of who I actually was, what I was actually doing, and if I carried on that way, I wasn't gonna get to where I want to be, or like stuff like that. So yeah, everything happens for a reason. I'm glad I had that whole process. By no means I'm perfect at all. So yeah, it's been a good one. I'm definitely gonna be doing more YouTube. I'm loving this, and especially like I've got 3 more shifts at Pure Gym. So kind of once that's out the way, not out of the way, like once that's done with, it's on to the next chapter, and I'm fully self-employed. It's scary. I'm doing finances and everything, like I'm doing my own tax. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like, if my maths teacher could see me now. I failed maths, as people don't know. I passed, but the second time. But yeah, deep little conversation. This has been one take. I literally just flipped the camera on. I wanted this to be natural, wanted to be honest. Just because maybe in the past, sometimes, like, the thing with social media is you always try to fit in, and even me saying I'd never try to fit in, I wouldn't post certain things, I wouldn't do what I wanted to do. Like me posting a daily stretch video, I've wanted to be doing that since I was 17. I'm 22 now and I ain't been doing it. Do you know what I mean? I've wanted to film in the gym since I was 16, and I've only done it now because I'm 22. Like, it's crazy. The impact, like, some people's thoughts can have on your head. I don't know how the edit's gonna pan out, but you know, I gave it my shot. But yeah, I'm back, people. I'm here for the long run. Never been better. And yeah, stay smiling, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Oh, make sure you like, subscribe, and check my socials out. And then I'll see you in the next video. Make sure you do that before you do anything else, right?